Unit 7. Listening. Exercise 3.
I think, to some extent, the reason I was so ill-equipped for survival in my first work environment was how easy I'd had it right up until then. Accumulating and processing knowledge has always been something that came naturally and pretty much effortlessly. And, although I say so myself, I've always been highly intelligent, which, by the time I'd finished school, contributed to my feeling that there was nothing I couldn't do. I sailed through uni, got a first-class honours degree, and was snapped up by a big company, which I won't name, before I even had time to think about applying for jobs. Starting salary, £60,000 a year, plus an end-of-year bonus. For the first few months, I was over the moon. I had youth, brains, and loads of cash. Fabulous, until things began to sink in. First of all, I had to come to terms with the fact that no one pays you that much money unless they're sure you'll work for it 10 times over. On weekdays, I went to bed and got up in the early hours of the morning. At the weekend, I tried to make up for it by sleeping for up to 14 hours straight. I had very little time for my friends and family, let alone for looking after the new flat I'd just moved into. It remained stark and bare due to the lack of time and the will to decorate. A far cry from the cosy, welcoming nest I'd been dreaming of. Work had literally hijacked my life. For all my intelligence, there was one thing I really hated and was really rubbish at: office politics, a complicated system of secret groups plotting and scheming against other groups or individuals. And just when I thought I'd got the hang of it, everything suddenly changed. Old enemies became allies and vice versa. And don't let me get started on gender equality, or rather inequality. As a woman, I had to show an even tougher face than men to earn some respect. Whereas I'd begun my career as a positive, capable high achiever, I had become so stressed that I dreaded getting up in the morning. The high-tech glass and steel premises which I'd raved about in the beginning had turned into my prison. I even had nightmares about me being locked up and abandoned in it. At some point, I felt so down in the dumps that I asked a friend who's a doctor to prescribe a 2-week sick leave. He pointed out that I actually needed one for real, as I was extremely close to a mental meltdown. That was when I saw things with perfect clarity and quit. I decided to do all the things I hadn't done in the 2 years since I'd started working there. I went shopping for sofa cushions, spent half an hour deciding what scent candles to buy, and went back home to enjoy pizza and a film with my best friend. I was ecstatic. It was the most human I'd felt for months. I much prefer the version of life I'm leading right now. I have opted for a break from my career for a while until I know what it is I want to do. At the moment, I'm helping a friend run a tourist shop in a small seaside town, and I do some extra maths tutoring to keep the wolf from the door. It seems to be working. I might not be able to afford many of the things I used to on my former 5-figure salary, but I am certainly in a position to enjoy and savour many more.